Prepare for battle.
Nomad, unanimous panel? Are you staying on that unanimous panel train?
Yeah, I mean, you and me were talking about how this draft is going. I'm like, yeah, Fnatic looks good. The problem is going to be an Underlord last pick because of the Naga, Siren illusions. They just need to stall the game. Like, this is the lineup that doesn't really do that much early on. The T1 has an oral lineup, so it could be a bit tricky. I think it's more on T1 to be able to have this aggression going on for the first, like, 20 minutes, try to get some advantage, turn that into Roche, where Fnatic lineup is, yeah, we're fine. You know, if we take them out of the laning stage even, we don't, you know, lose too much, because this is hard lineup to execute for the first 15-20 minutes, because all you have to do is defend towers. You have very sluggish heroes that can't really gank, so a lot of that is solely on Puck. So if someone needs to make rotation, it's just Puck. Like, he needs to be all over the place, being ready with the TP if they decide to dive on T1 side, and just have that coil every single time it's up, try to get something happen.
Yeah, so do you expect Puck to be active come level 6 or any earlier
Not
than
necessarily like straight up level 6, I'm gonna go and do stuff, but if the lanes are going well, he can still be on a mid lane, make a TP rotation, you get the good rune, haste, possibly arcane rune, because yeah, this top lane Underlord plus Enigma will deny the creep wave, so the lane will pull back. Naga Siren doesn't put too much pressure on the Underlord, and eventually you will get the farm. A bit worth for the Wraith King, because he will be playing into multiple mana burns this game. Bottom lane, they're playing very aggressive.
Going after Cuckoo, with DJ just putting the pressure on. Already down to a third of health. So that's something to bring up, the mana burn. Does this force, because the panel was saying they want to see Wraith King get like a Radiance, right?
Sure.
But
Yeah,
you're forced to have a 1,400 gold item into getting the shard, most likely, right? If
After that, after Radiance, you do not want to invest, then you also like want to have Radiance between 15 and 20 minute mark, then you're just gonna keep farming, but definitely a good shard game, which is his old level 20 talent. So no mana reincarnation, there will be Beastmaster book with the mana burn, Naga Siren with the Diffusal Blade, Lion's Drain, a lot of stuff that he needs to focus on, so eventually he will get that shard.
It's going to be tough for him to get that reincarnation off, potentially, where he gets that shard, which could be the key to T1 taking an advantage earlier, right? You get him out, doesn't have that reincarnation, you don't really feel the effectiveness from that Wraith King. Then all of a sudden, T1, like we kind of saw them in the first game, get like a 6,000-7,000 net worth lead if they can execute that properly.
The question is how much pressure they can put on. And I want to see this Venge mid. I've seen it in the high-level bots, where, you know, the panel talked about it. The new Aghanim Scepter build is pretty cool, where you have this illusion that, you know, can cast all of her spells. You have a movement speed bonus for some reason, not sure why that is, and yeah, you also take the place of Venge once you respawn and you get all the XP, plus you can also get the gold by farming, so pretty sick stuff. One of the better upgrades, I would say. We might see more of the Venge core in this tournament.
Yeah, we were seeing like interesting Venge combinations before this, where you put like Venge with Drow, but Venge would be more in the support for that. Actually, you know, maybe ending up in a core, but I think it was mostly supporting at that point. They said, again, you know, bringing up the panel, Venge feels a lot more comfortable in the core role than it does in the support.
For sure, because right now Venge's aura is just base damage. You don't get really a gap range anymore.
Dire structures are fortified.
Already Moon on top of that CS with Raven. A little bit different hero here for Raven, going from the IO to the Wraith King.
Yeah, completely different here. Wraith King wants to farm up, doesn't want to take any fights pretty much for the first 15 minutes until he gets the Radiance. Just farming for now. you know, doesn't have a point in crit yet, 2 points in Skellies. A bit of a different game than the previous one that we've seen, because Legion Commander just deletes those Skellies with the overwhelming odds. This way, they don't have that much AoE, at least not in the lane.
Jab showing up into the face of Whitemon, getting his mana drain, but with the Malefice, all of a sudden, Whitemon might get blocked to a point where...
Can you body block him to death? Imagine if, like, body blocks, if you successfully
Radiant's
body
middle
block him
tower
for
is under
3+ seconds, it actually deals the damage.
You said I was given bad ideas
And
with
provides
a
an extra
6v6.
slow.
That sounds like a lot, just for body blocking.
Yeah, you try to body block. You like to start running the other way to not to get the damage.
True, yeah. Well,
It's pretty stupid.
AoE
Yeah, I
breaks
gotta
it?
agree, it's pretty stupid. The more I think about it,
I wasn't saying it was stupid, just, you know,
it's just bad.
It seems like it could
broken.
be strong if you do end up pulling it off, right? I still like the 6-on-6 idea. Volley games.
So yeah, back to the farming in jungle. Enigma having a good time, staying away from your stupid ideas as well. Beak up 6-on-6, but there probably is a mode, right?
Probably in the custom game.
Yeah, pretty sure there is.
There's Imba, a couple other ones, 3v3.
I never played those, man. I'm just a die-hard Dota fan. I played Fudge Wars, I don't know, a long time ago.
Yeah.
At the start of Dota 2, back in Dota 1 days. I'm just, you know, a Dota guy.
Imba gets a little annoying. 10v10 Imba, and all of a sudden people are just leaving the game. No commitment.
Raven in a bit of trouble. Arrow does not connect.
Speaking of the Enigma before, I think we kind of had this conversation before our mics were live. Yeah, how difficult of a game it is for him to really be the playmaker, get that black hole out. There's so many things here that make it difficult for
Exactly.
him.
That's why they decided to, you know, shift Enigma to position 4. You're playing into Beastmaster, so there's always going to be a BKB piercing ability, plus a swap, sleep. Like, it's a very hard Enigma game to start with, so they just give priority to Underlord. And, like, yeah, they're not putting too much pressure on Underlord. He's having a really good time, 26 CS, 11 denies, has a Soul Ring, has a Ring of Health, so a lot of regions their damage is pretty static on the top lane, so whenever he has mana, just use that Firestorm and kill the whole creep wave.
3 on the network. They're all on the side of Fnatic. Just by a couple hundred here or there. The one who's really standing out is Raven. It's just about 3,000 net worth. He's doing a really good job farming, and we talked about it's his job. Although up in top, the Underlord is trouble, most likely giving up first blood. There it is for Jackie. You got 3 heroes with Zephyr.
This is why I came to the
all
surface.
showing up, killing a Masaros.
They can't get that kill if they don't rotate Mirana, so just come stop, they get the first kill, first blood, and Jackie gets it. This is something that you want to see. Your carry getting a first blood. Carl this time around, pretty much the same thinking as Monkey King had in the previous game. Against the Puck matchup, I'll get the Magic Wand, 1 Raid Band, have that Raindrop to be able to survive through like initial burst that Puck has.
Now, Fnatic, looks to me that they're gonna play more of a 4 protect 1, right? The Crave King that time, Midas and Raid. Give them time to get that farm online. Who in some trouble? DJ and Raven, they'll combine for the kill.
Dire's bottom tower
The good
is
one to
under
push
attack.
him even closer to that Midas.
It's a slow lineup, as I already stated, for
Yeah.
Fnatic, so they are okay. You know, just being here, getting the kill here and there if possible, and farming the jungle, farming the lanes, because eventually,
Dire's bottom
you
tower
will
is
take
under
a fight.
attack.
I like what Black Sander defends, but Naga Siren doesn't really fit into these, like, Aura lineups.
Looking like he might
Dire's
drop. The
structures
damage is
are
there.
fortified.
Ben was waiting, has a little bit of help from the Lion of Whitemon to control him, have those stuns.
Huh. It's a big kill. Hard to execute if you don't move Lion.
Radiant's
Vengeful
middle
Spirit stun
tower
is
is under
pretty
attack.
easy. to dodge. There's also no point to swap at the moment, and it's all about tower defense for Fnatic.
Let's make more and more time for the Wraith King.
Oh, I like this. Masaros going for Vanguard, which could possibly be turned into the Crimson Guard against all these summons, against Naga illusions. Yeah, that's just a good item. Doesn't necessarily need to rush it, but you know, you can still get like a casual cloak, possibly a mech, and then Crimson Guard. He'll see how the game.
Is he more just looking to beat auras?
Yeah, for sure. You deal damage with the Firestorm and Puck can scale, plus it's a really good Radiance game against illusions, against summons, so Raven just needs to right now he's doing really good, staying 300 gold ahead of the Naga Siren. Also, like Naga Siren, hero that farm extremely fast. A couple of stacks already being made in the jungle.
Closing in on top of the net worth. We're seeing a different build for the Puck.
Dire's top tower.
Blink Dagger
Under
first
attack.
item. We saw Witchblade first for the Puck in the previous game. Not the same build as the last one, but do you think that Blink's the right call?
Yeah, I think his job in this game is to be as active as possible. So Blink Dagger will allow that. He can still go back to Witchblade if needed.
Cuckoo. Get the kill on the jab. No question about it. At the same time, Raven kills off Zephyrs. Both teams moving around the map.
Dire's bottom tower
Taking
is under
out.
attack.
Force.
This benefits Fnatic so much more because they took the
Dire's
safe lane
bottom
tower, not the
tower
most
has
important tower in the game, but you know, if someone shows up on that lane, there is no place to TP to. Really good, and they still have their own tier 1 tower, full HP right now. T1 stealing the stacks.
Shadows.
Test these if possible. One like Shadow.
They have no sentries.
This is down all black hole. Cuckoo taking a lot of damage.
Ooh. That was a black hole. Woo. It was so quick, we didn't even notice that it happened.
Why can you miss it?
Okay, can we get a replay of that, please? Yeah, I know the chat will love it.
But they defend, they push him back, they're up 2K. So we'll see where Moon's going. I like, Raven already had 600 gold after they took that tier 1 bottom. He gets the kill on his Zephyr, they take the tier 1, then he has Midas chip in, and he gets to use that Midas. So
like, you just have too much gold. I think, like, you had the Midas first usage, and you had almost 1,000 gold in the bank already. Now he moves to the top lane, starts to pressure the tower.
in trouble.
Straight up deleted.
Jabs deleted off the map. Finger comes in, Whitemon gets the kill, he grabs the stack to go after Raven. This is an important one to try and get. But if it turns around, it could be really detrimental to the rest of the game. They're trying to drain that mana, getting the kill on a Raven. He's got nothing to get that reincarnation off anymore. Dream Coil down on the Venge as well as the Marana, with Masaros just hitting away with this Undying. They'll take out Carl, they'll look for Zephyr. He's no longer silenced, gets the lead. But is it far enough? The Ignite range and the last shot coming in from Moon, capping that one off. They do lose Raven, slow down that Radiance, but
still, top of network
for 2.
Really good trade. Underlord and Puck are playing together. This is such a sick combo, like just a ton of damage between these two heroes. Firestorm, Dream Coil, keeping them inside of it, and he's not getting a talent. He is putting more points in Pit of Malice, which I really like. Like, also just 2 points in Atrophy Aura. You want to have that Pit of Malice maxed out just for like more root mechanic. It feels so good. Like the damage, sorry, B-Cup. Like the damage is gonna be insane. Enigma, not a single point in Midnight Pulse. Probably will start getting some right now. Just hit level 8. Midnight Pulse into Pit of Malice plus Firestorm. Percentage-based damage, 2 spells, is gonna melt the illusions. It's just gonna melt everything.
Seems like a strong combo.
It's a sick combo. I feel like T1 should have punished the lane stage much harder, because right now Fnatic has a 2k gold lead. They have a much better late game potential with their heroes. They have a scaling lineup. You have this Wraith King, you know, just farming Bloodlust. Also, only level 1, but I want to see Moon also getting
Radiant's
like
bottom tower is
damage
under attack.
potentially items, not just
Dire's middle
go
tower
for,
is under attack.
you know, the
Radiant's
spell
bottom
build,
tower
I would
is
call
fortified.
it. Like, I want him to scale, not necessarily need to get like Deso, the damage talent, but you can also scale getting Aghanim Scepter, keep them in place because of all these AoE percentage-based damage. Like, maybe that's the call. Maybe I'm just
Radiant's
being
bottom
wrong. We'll see how the game develops.
Primal Roar onto Moon. Now they've got the stun to follow it up from the Lion. Phase shift and the Waning Rift looking for the Illusory Orb to jaunt away. Use the Dream Coil on the bench. The swap to get some distance. Get closer to Moon. Whitemon ends up getting the kill. He's no way out of that one. Could kill it again. Come over and try and steal an Ancient Camp. Because they were taking those stacks.
Radiant's
And
bottom
Raven
tower is under attack.
was out farming and is still now neck and neck with that guy. Doing a really good job.
Top tower is under attack.
Mouse down, ignite the stun on the Ogre.
Is under attack.
Finger as well, arrow comes in. They've got the Hex onto Raven. Whitemon needs to run. Malphus used on a Cuckoo, the fight's splitting up a little bit.
Radiant's
Should be able to
middle
finish
tower
off
is
Whitemon.
under
They
attack.
throw down the Firestorm. One more stun comes in. He's really taking them for a long journey. Avoids the Pit of Malice. Pace looking like he might be gone. I don't want to speak too soon because Jabs does have that blink and he knows how to catch up to the Lion. Killed the Beastmaster and now they will
Radiant's
finally finish off
bottom tower is
Whitemon
under
with
attack.
Raven getting credit for that.
Dire are scanning.
Grabs yet another kill.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Move. That bounty. And the Illusory Orb up. So like both of them. That's really nice.
I think this fight shows how much they need Puck
Dire's middle
to be
tower is
alive,
under
to use the
attack.
coil and his ability,
Dire's
because they're
structures are
very
fortified.
sluggish. They're very slow, you know, hard to set things up, and he needs to be the one holding them in place. Raid King, just a recipe away from Radiance, has full control of the bottom part of the jungle, one ward to work with, so he should feel pretty safe. Naga Siren, Manta style completed, pretty standard stuff. Usually we see a Diffusal Blade, but maybe he feels like, yeah, I don't need it. We already have some mana burn. Raid King will get that shard anyway, so I'll just get Scotty instead. It's a better kiting item. The heroes are already slow. Why not slow them down a bit more?
Do you think that not getting that Diffusal could be a difference maker on whether or not that reincarnation goes off in these mid-game fights?
I feel Raid King will just get that shard at 20-minute mark.
Yeah.
Like, if they win one fight, if the game is slow, T1's not putting any pressure, he might still get, possibly a Blink Dagger for more chase potential.
But why spend the money on Diffusal if you know he's going to commit to the shard?
Yeah.
Okay. So working around the assumption that a shard will be picked up by the Wraith King, which he's got a Midas, he's going Radiance, he's going to be farming like crazy. Should be an easy pickup for him.
Yeah, you just need to have gold. Like,
Yeah.
you don't necessarily
Dire's
need to
middle
do
tower
anything.
is under
You just
attack.
spend the money and that's it. Easy peasy.
Get rich. Spend the gold. And then Puck going into the Dagon. Dagon Lincoln's queued.
Dire's middle tower
See,
has
is it Dagon 1 back into Lincoln's, then you buff up the Dagon? Or are you going into the recipes and then the Lincolns? Or is there some point where it's like, oh, well, now the Lincolns is necessary, let me just buy it?
Could be a way just to deal with the illusions.
Dire's top
But-
tower is under attack.
Could have also gone for a bit more scaling build. Sure, I mean, don't get me wrong, if you have like E-Blade, Dagon, Lincoln Sphere, you still feel really good. Because look at their like stuns. Beastmaster, that's one way, single target. Vengeful Spirit, you can dodge that with the magic, with the phase shift. You need to be afraid of Lion, so Lincoln Sphere will help out with that.
Yeah. See when he gets that. Ags has picked up Revenge, Scotty being built there for the Naga,
Radiant
and it's
are
Radavatos for the Underlord. The chase is on for Moon, but they won't be able to catch up to him. I like that Radavatos. We were seeing a lot of that when Underlord was a little bit more popular in the previous patch, going into Pit of Malice with the Radavatos, but we're trying to get a kill here on Masaros. Have the Hex, they'll throw the finger, the damage being done. Blackpool comes in onto the Vengeful, arrow stops it. Carl, he'll end up dead, jabs himself Masaros do end up dropping Recoil here onto the Naga as well as the Mirana, but they have the swap. They pull back the Wraith King and they get the first life. However, Zephyr going down to Moon. They're looking over at Whitemon. He's sitting low. So is Cuckoo. And onto this Wraith King. Got the right clicks coming in from Raven. Now finally a song. Once 4 heroes are dead.
Can they chase? They need to chase this illusion because Vengeful Spirit will, you know, be ready and up in 15 seconds. You respawn and go back to where your illusion is.
Dire's middle tower is under
DJ
attack.
spotted him. Doesn't have anybody really near him. Take a look at this replay once again. Pitamalis comes in, roots up the line, the stun is out. They throw the finger on him. He's quite tanky already. They really tried to focus the Underlord, and then the Black Hole gets stopped by the arrow. Carl gets right-click down, kills him off. Underlord finally drops with jabs. And this Dream Coil is well placed, hitting out of the Mirana as well as the Naga. Whitemon's still going in. They get that first life. Here's where things get tricky. Moon kills off Zephyr. They have the stun onto the Naga. They can look over at Whitemon as well as Cuckoo. Couple more right clicks from Moon. Moon gets the kill there, and then eventually the right click just slamming down Cuckoo. Yeah, crit.
So once Underlord gets that Rod of Aethos, it's going to be much easier to set things up. You know, you go for one clear target. There is a save in terms of swap, but it's a core Venge, so you really don't want to be using it on your teammates, putting yourself in a bad spot. There's no defensive tools for yourself, so you need to be very careful about that. One thing that they have, we didn't talk about it, is Vision Game for T1, where they can have their
Radiant's
lanes
top tower is
outpushed.
under attack.
Beastmaster summons, you have Control, you have Hawk.
Pitamalis right on top of him. They'll use the Moonlight Shadow, but he's dead before he fades.
He doesn't even have boots. Yeah, he just picked up boots 20 minutes in.
There's that Ring Dagger you talked about for the Wraith King.
Yeah, I think
Radiant's
but he
bottom
still doesn't
tower
have
is under
that
attack.
shard. Might need to change his mind and just get it.
And killing off Whitemon, so Moon is really having a game
Radiant's
so far.
bottom
They
tower
find
is
themselves
under attack.
Zephyr. They'll try to chase. He's out of leaps.
Radiant's
He's got nowhere to go. The stun comes in, and another one for Moon. Double kill for Moon, who's sitting 8, 2, and 4. Involved with 12 of the 16, and sitting right up there on the network. Song from Jackie just the TP to the top lane. That song hands on the Underlord as well as Raven. Try to get out of this one. The taxi service has arrived, and away they go. 5 stars.
Very nicely done. And Underlord can go back to that Crimson Guard. I'm a big fan of it against this type of matchup where, you know, Naga, Siren, Illusions, Beastmaster, Summons, you're gonna get so much value out of it.
Wraith King queues up the AC. So far, not even thinking Shard. See if that pays off, waiting on that Shard, but he could hold the gold and then eventually go for it. Feels its a necessity. Black Hole on the 2. Arrow coming in, it hits the Wraith King, so the Black Hole continues. They've got the Pitamalis. The Midnight pulse down. Both the men as well as the Beastmaster are going to die here. The finger throw to the Ogre. They finally get the kill on the DJ. They look over at Zephyr with Naga coming in, taking out jabs, but the Dream Coil is committed. They've got the silence out of the Naga side. They're trying to ring around this tree, but they kill off Zephyr. The stun comes in from Whitemon. Jackie on the run. Not sure he gets out of this, though. They have the Pitamalis. Pops the Mantra. Right clicks in. He's rooted up. Killed off. Take out the Naga. 4 for 2 in the favor of Fnatic. Now up 8,000 net worth. Black Hole.
That was a really good Black Hole, and Raven, like,
Get down, Mr. President.
Raven actually took that arrow in the knee for his teammate because he did not want the Black Hole to be interrupted. There's still gonna be damage coming out from the Radiance, so nicely done. This is the fight that T1 needed to win. Like, their lineup is much worse going into the late game. Not hesitating at all. Like, very nicely done by Jabs.
And Raven just stepping in front. I don't know if it was stepping in front on purpose or just wanted to get some right clicks in. Either way, saves him.
You know, let's pretend he did, because it was cool. If that's what it was pretty cool.
just getting destroyed by Masaros, and that Firestorm dropping down on him pretty much the entire time. Lincoln's finally finished off for the puck. BKB almost finished for Japs. Farming almost as well as the bench. 1600 off, not too much. Feels like Carl hasn't really gotten much farm.
Moon got so much out of the last two fights. Full Lincoln Sphere on top of that Dagon. So pretty hard to take down. And even if this game, you know, isn't going well, Puck can still be that guy that, you know, just creep skips and buy some time for his team.
Yeah. Blizzard Orb, Waning Rift, clear up the creep wave, go into the trees, come back out, rinse, repeat. If nobody's going to make you pay for it, then why not? So posture here towards Roche with the smoke of T1. I think they're looking for an opportunity to take a fight. They go into the high ground, smoke into break the fast down to the Beastmaster as well as the line. They use the round of Angel. Two on the line of Whitemon. He's in trouble. Whitemon dead immediately. Now down onto the Naga Siren. They're going to just save, try and do something. The right clicks are in. They use the swap, but it stuns up the Naga. The Primal Roars use on to this Wraith King, who will lose that first life. Now the root is out onto Zephyr. The blink stun coming through from Raven, and they will take his life. Double kill for Raven, and this fight happens next to Roche.
Nah, you don't necessarily need to threaten the Roche right now. Raven is also level 19, so that means level 3 reincarnation, 40-second cooldown. They can just pressure the top tower, take the outpost, and then see how it's gonna go from there. Like, they're in full control. Like, in this series, like, Raven is playing so well. First game on IO, just going for the correct item build. Same thing happened in game 2, where like his itemization is really on point. Getting that Hand of Midas into Radiance just to speed things up, get more levels, lower the cooldown on his ulti. His talents are pretty insane. Like his level 25 talent is busted, I would say. Minus 2 seconds Immortal Strike cooldown, so it brings it down to 2-second cooldown ability with the 260%. Not too bad.
Start really slamming those right clicks in. This game is more like, I think the first one with Raven saving Moon. Moon was kind of that leader in damage, and now it's the other way around. Moon's more like the Dream Coil, silences, okay Raven, do your thing. And he does it. Playing really well on this Wraith King, out farming the Naga now.
Bottom tower
and looking really good at the moment. Jackie, his farm is good. Does it feel like what's around him just isn't enough?
I just don't feel Naga Siren is a strong carry right now compared to other top tier carries. And to go back to Black's point where he talks about Naga not really benefiting that much from like all these auras. Yeah, sure you get you know, the same amount of damage, the same amount of attack as other heroes, but you're not with the team. You just want to play the farm game.
Is under attack.
We'll see if he can farm his way back into it, do something with what he's got. Shard queued up by the Enigma. Raven going into the Maelstrom.
Like, man, that shard is so good. Kind of a science, you know, implemented into Dota2. The way Black Hole works and the things around it.
Wait,
not the Siren actually decided to let the shard. Give you a stronger Riptide.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And you can activate it manually.
Yeah. I'm really hoping, I don't know if Bill Nye, the science guy, has like a cameo, but hire him to talk about the physics of Black Hole.
That'd be so cool. Like we'd probably have to spend the most of our budget on it.
Take a look at his price. Have him talk about when you purchase Shard, how Black Hole works. Science, you know?
Radiant's middle tower.
Take a look after this one. Raven going into the Mjolnir. It's completely foregone the Shard. It has the AC. Saving 1,400 gold. That's invested wisely into these other items. Midas being built for the Ogre. Gotta get that ultimate cast, get that gold starting to pump up. It's bottom of the net worth right now.
I mean, I don't mind. You know, maybe it's a bit too late, but still, you're gonna be able to scale. Because T1, they can't finish the game.
Yeah.
Like, their lineup was supposed to be aggressive, so he is kind of, you know, just securing things. There's if things are going well, you can just, you know, invest gold and try to end the game from here. But you're playing against Naga, so the game might drag for a while.
We'll see. They're knocking on the door bottom. Headband picked up. There's the Maelstrom. Step for Zephyr. I like Psychic Headband. I think it's a really good control.
Yeah, it's good on some mid-end heroes. It's good on position 4. It's good on 5s.
I was thinking about the Ogre Midas. The more it multicasts, the more you make up that time that it took you to get that Midas. Right back in it if you get it 4 times.
I'm really glad we're not at straight up Midas meta, where, you know, it got really weird when 8 out of 10 heroes were buying Midas.
Swap in, and now repeats. They took this first fight very quickly. They throw the root onto the Veng. They're trying to drain them out, and they've got the Lotus Orb out. Are they going to continue to move forward? Illusory Orb, and they take Carl's life away.
Now Enigma needs to care about 2 things. That swap, which only has 1 charge right now, or like no charges at all, whatever you want to call it, and Beastmaster Roar, because BKB is ready, and Enigma is ready to just jump in after these 2 abilities are used.
Masaros crew over towards the mid lane while Moon is grabbing this outpost just in time for the 30-minute mark.
A prize.
Swipes it away. Like seconds to go. Really well done.
Shiny.
And Raven's just been a nuisance here bottom.
The next label
He's
plays
postured
no
right by your stairs and is continuing to just chunk creeps away and farm up. Picks up the Hyperstone, almost finishing off the Mjolnir.
Fnatic wants to use this Aegis. They still have a minute left on it, so... Oh, there's also a Lotus Orb. Really nice against some of these spells, against the Swap, against the Lion in particular, Beastmaster. It's hard, even with the move speed talent, the plus 30 on level 20, and the Bloodlust, there's still a lot of kiting potential. You know, something that Breaking doesn't like to play into, any kind of like slows, and now Riptide with the Aghanim Shard also provides a slow. And it's a 40% slow. That's not a joke.
Could be a problem, especially when he gets swapped into the base that deep.
Yep.
All of a sudden, you just can't get away. I guess it also depends on whether or not he's got that Aegis, because that's what made that really difficult too. You got to kill him 3 times, and they really weren't able to drain much of his mana. So it feels like Reincarnation's almost always going to get off at the moment. They can't keep Whitemon safe. He's not draining enough. Raven's just right in their face. No fear. Finishing off the Mjolnir. Aegis gets reclaimed. Put that Midas back into the slot. Going into the BKB next. And then Enigma, he's going Lincoln Sphere. So with the Lotus Orb, with the Lincoln Sphere, maybe a little bit more safe. Throwing that black hole as he's got Blink BKB, and then we'll soon have the Lotus to try and get that full duration off.
Yeah, we still have not seen the power of Blink BKB Black Hole. BKB still on 10 seconds. Like right now, they can just set a perimeter and farm up pretty much the whole jungle. There's Fnatic, T1's lineup doesn't have that much burst damage. Like, you need to use Roar, you need to get a finger to actually get a kill, and then you are possibly putting yourself in a bad spot, you know, where Fnatic can get a good jump, and right now I don't think you can afford to lose a fight near your base.
Yeah, if this fight ends up on their side of the river, it's almost certainly objectives for Fnatic. They're now have the short queued up on the Wraith King. I think that's just giving them a lot more.
Got him.
Yeah, they'll find themselves the puck. They'll throw out the stun. They have the finger. They'll kill off Moon. He doesn't have buyback. Dead for 90. This gives an opportunity for T1 to kind of secure some farm, find those next items, and
that's all
they're not
they
really
can
going to
do.
push
Like,
much
it's a big kill, but they can't take any objectives, possibly a tier 2 tower on top, and that's pretty much it. Like, this is what they can probably get. I don't think Fnatic cares too much about that tier 2 tower.
Yeah.
Shadow. Radiant's top tower
Venge next.
is under
Abyssal
attack.
finished for the Naga Siren.
DP says differently. I mean, when you think about it, they have a really sick tower defense with Midnight Pulse, Firestorm, these 2 percentage-based abilities. It's where the damage also comes from in a team fight. Like you have a bit of Malice to hold them in place, set up these 2 abilities, it's gonna be most of your damage. On top of Raid King, like don't get me wrong, Raid King is a raid boss in this game. He finally gets that shard, doesn't have to care about any kind of mana burn.
Yeah. Gets that shard, becomes the mythic plus boss. Really difficult for T1 to take him out of the fight completely. And at that point, there's so much commitment that you need to make just to get both lives out of the hands of Raven. You know, the last game, where we saw Wraith King getting dueled, and then now he's in the center of a Wukong's command, it became really tough for that Wraith King. Here, I don't think his struggles are nearly as much.
Yeah, it's a different game for Wraith King, where you know, he cares about kiting potential, but he has a really good backup team for.
T1 finally crossing the river.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
For the
attack.
first time in what feels like 10 minutes? Probably an overestimate. Probably more like 6.
And it's not safe.
No, it's
It's
not.
really not safe for them to be across the river.
They're putting some pressure, though, on that bot. Even if it's just a tiny amount, they have these illusions pushing. And trying to take care of them as best you can. You start to lose your attention, and all of a sudden the Naga Siren's down there, takes a tier 3. Opens up the base a little bit.
This is something that they need to be very careful about, because I don't think T1 has a clear plan on how to win a team fight, but dragging out the game, just being annoying, is something that this lineup is really good at. With the Beastmaster, summons, you're gonna always pretty much have a better vision coming out from Hawk, illusion, scouting things out, so you can see where the enemies are and then try to go for some kind of a rat play.
Potentially going to see another Swift Blink. It's the only upgraded Blink we've seen in
So far,
one day.
Yeah, we've seen what?
2 or 3 Swift
Yeah.
Blinks.
Roshan will be up in 30 seconds. There's a double damage being guarded by Wraith King, I believe. Yeah, it's underneath.
Yeah, it's right under him. It's giving him the effects. Look at that. Look at that Wraith King. Particle effects looking good.
Pause the game. Raven is AFK.
WC in the chat.
Yeah.
It's said a lot. All of a sudden you're 55 minutes in. Wash closet or whatever. Water closet? Wash closet? I'm American. It's just a bathroom. Not really sure. Roche is back up. And this is what Fnatic want. They want to secure some safety, get that Aegis, grab themselves a cheese, get a little bit easier to go up those steps, finish the game potentially.
Let's see if T1 decides to contest this. They might go for a sneaky play, possibly steal it with the Song of the Siren, but I still don't feel like they can just straight up fight 5 versus 5.
And they're gonna Moonlight Shadow, try to make their way over. Raven's coming in, blink away, Dream Coil will miss. And so will the 2 dusts. They don't get their hands on the Beastmaster. So now Dream Coil's down, but you still got a lot of control from Fnatic.
In your pubs, you know, someone misses a Dream Coil, very reportable.
Can you report after pop these days?
No, but you know, pop games, sure. Every single time, whenever it's up, you need to cycle those. Like you do not want to have 5 remaining, because what's the point of it? Like you just need to spend it.
Yeah. I think I'm always at 0. the Dota community. Probably, you know, my
or
reasons
you're
for
getting
reports.
reported all the
Yeah.
time and you're not getting any back. Makes a lot of sense. So
I think I have a 10,000 behavior score, I hope. Fingers crossed. Try not to look.
don't we all? No, we don't. I'm wondering what's the average behavior score in Dota? Probably around like 6,000.
That seems so low.
It really doesn't, you know.
Dire are scanning.
You're so naive, B-Cop.
I don't know, I had 10k my entire... I maybe slipped to 9980 or something like that, but... Yeah. Especially right now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
In the
attack.
flat, I don't have a button for my mic, so I keep pretty quiet. Can't get
Oh yeah, my mic got me in trouble multiple times. Like this is when the behavior score starts to drop. So back to the roach pit.
There you go. Doesn't look like it'll be...
Seems like an easy one, not contested. Where's Naga at? Very close.
Zephyr, look at the Snatch Raven gets it. They got the kill on Dire, but they snatched the Aegis. Close. Zephyr was almost there at the time.
Made a space in inventory, trying to grab it, but that's cheap and Aegis for Fnatic. Now Enigma has a Lincoln Sphere, doesn't have to care about the Swap or the Roar, one of those two.
Going for a shard as well. Still want that black hole. Yeah. T1 coming over, Force Stab, got the Lincolns, they've got the stun. There are a lot of heroes here, Whiteman. I don't know if you want to be there. Especially when you're getting 2 clicked by Raven.
Whitemon's really fast on using the Force Staff into Mana Drain, into Hex. Just removing that Lincoln Sphere with the Mana Drain and the successful cast on Hex.
Just ended up being too much to handle with the 2 other heroes, right?
Yeah. You know, but we gotta give him credit.
So... Ogre now at 9,000 gold on that network. That Midas paying off. He's level 20.
Oh, he got Midas at what? 30-minute mark?
Maybe even a little later than that.
I think it was 30. And then Force Staff now sitting on 2,000 gold. Got himself to level 20. Extra attack speed on Bloodlust.
Potentially outfarm the Enigma here.
I think it's go time. Like, the lanes are in a good state. Let this pop. We have mid pushed in. We have bottom pushed in.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
How will they try to defend this for T1? Let the first set of racks go. They've got a refresher on the Beastmaster.
Dire's middle tower.
So 2 roars, 2 opportunities.
I think he just wants to have
Dire's
one
middle
extra
has a
for Enigma's Lincoln Sphere.
Arrow, Force Stab, they've got the stun. They're looking for the Pit of Malice. Can they get the first wipe out of his hands? Yes, they can. So that's just the reincarnation. They have 40 seconds to work with. They get the one wipe out. They will go over at tomorrow. They'll finish the Venge job. Take out 2. They both have buyback. They bomb back on Whitemon. Will they buy back on the Venge? There's the Abyssal coming through. The stun onto the other.
There's the black hole.
Finger. They get the kill. The black hole is onto the Naga as well as the Beastmaster. They just don't have the damage finish off the Naga just yet. However, they kill off Cuckoo. They take the Beastmaster out of the fight. He bought out on that refresher orb, so he doesn't have buyback dead for 73 seconds. They've got the silence out of the bench as well as the Lion. They look over at Whitemon. Now, with the song, though, reset. But what do you have in this reset? Arrow comes in. That'll hit onto this puck. But do they have anything else? Raven starts to come forward. The right clicks are in. They get the kill to Carl. They'll end up losing Moon. He's got buyback. Naga getting low. The right clicks from Raven. Will it be enough? He gets under the tier 4 tower. They've got the stun. They'll get the kill, and he'll buy back immediately. But Zephyr's been caught, and he's been killed off.
I believe that's it. They lost pretty much everyone. They're knocking on your tier 4s now, hitting the throne, and the double Gs are dropped. Yeah, pretty nice showing from Fnatic.